Whoops. Apparently I just crashed the game. Let's restart. Man, it really doesn't like when I try and run the intro all the way through. All right, well, we don't need to do that. I can just skip it. Why is it crashing? It worked literally 5 minutes ago. Ah! I literally was playing this like 5 minutes ago before the stream. Failure! Oh boy. I get it all up and running. It's working. And then apparently maybe it's not playing well with OBS. I don't know. That's the only difference. Let's try this. Does it make a difference if it's the public beta? All right, let's just close Steam real quick. One sec, guys. Sorry about this. We'll see if this fails. Yeah, I could reboot the PC, but we'll see. Just one sec. Ah, that worked. Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're going to be doing a stream of a upcoming game Task Force Admiral. This is a game that is coming out hopefully in Q1 of next year. That's what they're saying. And they have recently re-released their demo, which has been polished, upgraded based off of all the work they've been doing over the last year plus. And I think they also added like a new variant of it as well. So we played it a little bit on the channel over a year ago, I want to say now. But yeah, they're getting close to release. It's releasing early next year. So they released the demo yesterday. Yes, it says the 30th of December in any event. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. This is a scenario-based World War II aircraft carrier, I don't know if simulation's the right word, war game? Operational war game where you command task forces, send out air groups, and try to win historical and some ahistorical encounters in World War II. In the first half of World War II, I believe this is Volume 1, so presumably if it's successful, we will see more. I think this is the air engagements up through the Solomons, I believe it is. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look here. So there's a battle generator option. There's also a single scenario option. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, so there are two scenarios in the demo of Cranes and Patriots and Cranes, Patriots, and Friends. I don't know what the Friends means. The first one is historical. The second one is hypothetical. It says it's a hypothetical version of the Cranes and Patriots scenario with a surprise guest that could have taken part to the operation. So yeah, I don't know what that means, but it says the difficulty is higher. You can see difficulty is 3 out of 4 stars for the Cranes and Patriots. Cranes and Patriots and Friends is 4 stars of the difficulty. Complexity is the same, so probably not a dramatic difference here. It does say it's hypothetical, so it's a variant of the particular fight. But let's go ahead and jump in and see what we've got here.
It's early morning on May 8th, 1942. Task Force 17, under the command of Vice Admiral Fletcher, has been roaming the Coral Sea for 7 days in an attempt to prevent a Japanese invasion of Port Moresby. The carriers USS Yorktown and USS Lexington were quite active and successful the day before. The American air groups managed to sink a light Japanese carrier with minimal losses, forcing the invasion force to loiter in fear of facing overwhelming odds on its way around the New Guinean Peninsula. In the meantime, the American carriers were left untouched. Japanese search efforts were rendered fruitless due to a number of mistakes and communication hurdles. Despite being spotted, Task Force 17 managed to escape the attention of enemy air power, as bombers from Rabaul focused fruitlessly on the Anzac Surface Combat Squadron, led by Admiral Crace, standing guard on the road to Port Moresby. As for the main Japanese carrier force, they attacked in droves the oiler USS Neosho and her escort USS Sims, mistakenly identifying them as a carrier force. Realizing their blunder, the Japanese aircraft launched a late afternoon search and destroy attack against the American carriers. Lost in bad weather, they were intercepted by American fighter cover and suffered crippling losses. Plus, to add insult to injury, they came across their target in darkness on their way home and even tried to land, mistaking the American carriers for their own. But the Americans know that it was far too much luck for one day. Admirals Tagagi and Hara are going to be doing everything they can to wash away the humiliation suffered the previous day and show the combined fleet that Carrier Division 5 crews are not to be trifled with. Now, Admiral Fletcher has elected not to send a surface fleet ahead so as not to weaken his protection screen and leave these ships vulnerable at daybreak, a move he will be heavily criticized for in the coming weeks.
Stereo sound, that was weird.
Now up to you to decide what to do next. The position of the enemy carriers is estimated to be within combat range northeast of Task Force 17's current position, but no one can predict with any accuracy the moves of the enemy. Enemy opposition is deemed challenging. The Japanese air groups have been badly hurt by their ill-advised evening attack hours ago, but they are still going to be packing a punch. Expect to be going toe-to-toe with about 60 to 70 enemy Zero fighters, dive bombers, and torpedo bomber crewed by professionals, some of them veterans of many campaigns. As for the Americans, your own air groups are in good shape but are still suffering from a low number of available fighters, which will force you to make some tough calls. Should you escort your bombers as a priority or protect your carriers?
Protect my carriers.
To figure out how to best prepare for the first real carrier-to-carrier engagement of the war. Your objective is to seek out the enemy carrier force, engage it, and inflict heavy damage to force the Japanese Navy to abandon its move against Port Moresby. You're to retire to the south at the end of your operation. Good luck.
Okay, so that was the briefing. I know the gameplay audio is probably a little bit low. What's the scenario options? Record TAC view file. Okay, that's cool. But I'm not going to do that. Let's go ahead and begin. I don't think it's not when you say like, is it related to Task Force 92? I mean, it's being published by the sort of re-alived, I don't know, Microprose. I don't think anyone who's involved in the game has any direct connection with Task Force 1942, but I'm sure they were inspired by it to various degrees. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So this is the sort of generic command room or whatever you want to call it. We've got key tabs up here. It is 07. Oh, it's midnight, so I don't have to worry about any enemy air attacks coming in for a little while. But let's go here to the plot screen. You can see this is our task force. We are heading south right now. We have, can I change that waypoint? I would like to go more parallel, because if the enemy carriers are up here, I don't know if I want to be further away from them. I think I'd rather be closer to them. But I don't think changing this changed any heading. It didn't say anything on the messages. I can't see anything either right now because it is dark out. Like, you can kind of see things here, but you know. Intel updates. SyncPack warns of likely presence of enemy heavy carrier Kaga operating Coral Sea area. Enemy task force rushing to your expected area of confrontation. Be aware of additional enemy air assets. Well, that's probably the update. And we are turning here. Task force is turning. But you can see here that's probably the variable in this scenario, is that we've got to deal with an additional enemy carrier, which is going to be challenging. Because if we go to the flight deck operations here, you can see here we have our aircraft all grouped together here. But do I have a like screen where it shows me the squadrons? I do. So I've got on the Yorktown, we're in better shape. On the Yorktown, we have 18 F4 F3s, or 18 pilots. That's 14 aircraft. We've also got some 32 SBDs and 9 torpedo bombers. The Lexington has 17 aircraft. So all told, we are short on fighters. We only have 31 fighter aircraft. That's like maybe enough to go toe to toe with one fresh enemy carrier. If we got to deal with 2 whittled down carriers plus a fresh carrier, it's going to be a challenging scenario. In terms of, let's see here. So 33 dive bombers on the Lexington. Did I count that right? 32 on the Yorktown. 9 and 12 torpedo bombers respectively. That gives us 21 torpedo bombers. No missions planned right now. Again, it's midnight. But we did turn the task force at the very least. Thanks for the sub. All right, so you can see here, this is the estimated enemy carrier position as of 2100 hours, so 3 hours ago, May 7th. Rabaul estimated bomber range is this dotted line here, so probably stay out of that area unless we want to deal with GM3 or 4 Nels and Bettys coming after us. I don't know if turning off to the east is making us more or less likely to be detected by enemy carriers, but I do think I want to go ahead and plan some air ops for the morning. Not so much strikes, because I don't know what the enemy's going to be throwing at us for our total of 117 aircraft, but perhaps for reconnaissance flights. So if I go here and I go new air search, I can actually create a new air sort of search. Now it's having us way out here. I'm assuming because that's where we'll be by the time the sun comes up, because right now if I plan this mission, it won't take off till 6 a.m. when there's actually some sunlight for them to see. So I'm going to go ahead and create sort of a search arc for us to try and find the enemy. I'm going to create a narrower funnel because I'm going to do a number of these. and I want to be able to see the enemy sooner rather than later. Can I move this clipboard? No, I would like to move the clipboard. Kind of blocks what I can see here, but in any event, I'm going to go ahead and angle them back over our shoulder. We'll have a step of 20, so fairly narrow search arc. They go out on one of these, they come back on the other. We're going to do a TBD-1. I don't trust my torpedo bombers. They've got shorter range, but I'm not worried about the enemy being up here. They are slower, which does kind of suck, but it is what it is. Search altitude 13,000 feet, I guess. That's just the standard, it would seem. So, but yeah, I don't trust my torpedo bombers, knowing what I know about the Pacific Theater of Operations. So, yeah. And they'll take off at 06:01, so early morning hours. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now, the one downside, like I said, is the TBDs are slower. I suppose we should do shadow all contacts. Sure. I assume that means they will follow the enemy to the target. Just radio back, because you'll probably get yourself shot down, but that's fine. And I would say priority target obviously is a carrier task force. So go ahead and do one of these. We've got search 1. We've got kind of fades out a little bit when we plan the mission. Go ahead and do another. It will not quite replicate the, not at all replicate the mission, but that's fine. Shadow all contacts, priority contact carrier. I'm just going to keep creating more of these so we can create a decent search arc. Again, not too worried about my SBDs, or yeah, TBDs, sorry, because they suck. Sorry to the Devastator, but you are not the, you're not the torpedo bomber I would like. You're not the torpedo bomber I would choose. You're the torpedo bomber I have. All right. And so what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. For the Yorktown, we're going to do a few more searches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do the 5th. We're going to do this one off of the Lexington so we can mix up the carrier deck a little bit. That way we're not clogging one up and taking longer than we need to get them all off the ground. Okay. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. I'm hoping that this does a good job of covering the skies with patrol aircraft. Torpedoes would be great at sinking enemy ships. The problem is I don't have working torpedoes for the Americans, so. Of course, that's a little bit of a historical knowledge, you know, but what are you going to do about it? You can use joystick to cast. You don't have to fly, by the way. I'm pretty sure the joystick thing is just a, hey, if you want to do it, you can do this, but the core of this game is not to be like, oh, you're flying fighters. Like, that's very much what I would call an add-in. All right, so we got 7. We'll do one final. So we'll have 8 torpedo bombers across 2 carriers, 4 and 4, doing our reconnaissance. So that was the last. So we'll do that. All right, I think that'll give me a good enough coverage from left to right to make sure that we actually spot what is coming for us. No, Lexington and Yorktown are both here, so I'm pretty sure the Kaga, based on the intel up here, is the special guest because they've got the Shokaku and the Tsuikaku for the Battle of the Coral Sea based on history. So if they're saying the Kaga may also be in the area, then I think that is the special guest. All right, so there's their Ready room, you can see the Lexington and Yorktown's mission sectors. It looks like everybody should be up by 6:15. Time over target by 7:45, 7:49. That's the outbound leg, I assume. Return by 9:30. Yeah, and RS, I mean, I think it's obviously a hypothetical scenario, so. All right. Oops. Did I have everybody ready, right? Yeah. All right. So there we are, we're moving east. The fact that I'm not retreating south like I was before, at least in theory, should speed up the time to detect. Of course, it does mean we are closer to the enemy as well. Hey, Chase, doing good. Rare daytime stream for me. I have the day off. I will have to be leaving here in about 90 minutes, but we may stream again tonight. I don't know if we'll stream this or more Master of Command. We'll see. So we got to speed time up a little bit. I don't know why the timescale wants to, like, you can theoretically push the timescale up to 240, but you know, like I would assume like in Silent Hunter, when there's a reason you can't accelerate beyond a certain amount, it slows it down. I'm not sure why it's slowing it down to 90 though. I would think, I mean, it's nighttime. There's nothing going on. As far as I'm aware, there's nobody in range of us. So why does it max it out at times 90 speed? I don't know. Let's just keep fighting it and try and make it go faster. I just do times 90, and I guess 90 is the sweet spot. But yeah, we got a ways to go. What is the scale? This is operational very much. I don't know. I don't know if like it has a stores section here. I don't know if there's going to be anything around like number of torpedoes, because it doesn't, it's kind of an empty section. I don't really know what that section's for. You do have your aircraft roster. It does show you where on the deck these aircraft are. The highlighted blue ones are the ones with the mission. So these guys are the 4 that'll begin taking off at 6 o'clock. These are the 4. So they'll have to respot the deck so these guys can take off. Everybody's stored up front. I'd show you the deck right now, but it's 2 in the morning, so there's no light. There also is the ability to store aircraft under the deck as well. And then you can see the mission launch for the different missions across both carriers. Squadron makeup here, VF1, VF2, VB2, VS2, VT2 for each carrier. Pilot rosters, aircraft rosters. Pilots assigned to missions, number of sorties for the day. Combat claims, bomb hit claims. It's all pretty cool stuff. Half of the last one? Don't tell me I fucked that up. My last video shows it as being an hour. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by the last one being half of the previous one. They both say they're 59 minutes. There was a live stream. If you were looking at the stream ones, then perhaps. I assume when I get to the waypoint, the task force keeps moving. Yeah, they're still moving. I hadn't been doing Restream a ton, but I've been doing it lately. I don't think there's any reason not to be doing Restream at this point. So I am a Twitch partner. I'm on Twitch when I stream all the time, and sometimes I pull that over to YouTube. I was doing it a little bit more regularly like 6 months back, and then I was having issues getting it to stream on YouTube properly, but I don't know. It might as well be where people want to watch. So if you want to watch on YouTube, I'll try and stream there. YouTube, eventually I will chop the videos up and post them as VODs as well, if you missed the stream. So if you go into the live section, you might see like the whole video, as opposed to, you know, if you go to just the videos, you'll see the slightly, I will say slightly edited videos. I'm not like I don't do the Wolfpack where everything's cinematic and brilliant. I'm not brilliant. All right, we're getting close to launching these aircraft. So they're gonna have to start respotting the deck here in about a minute. I don't know if we've gotten much outside yet. It's still pretty early. There you go. A little bit of light coming up. Here's our carrier. I love the visuals of the carrier at sunrise in this game. Like, it's, you know, it just looks cool. Makes me want to join the Navy. A little old for that now. I don't know if they'll take a mid-30s guy. The shadows are a hell of a time trying to like visualize this for a video though. It's like, ooh, look at this. I did not stop moving. I was curious if I would when I got to the end of the waypoint, but Task Force is still moving. I'm not really sure what you're saying, Enterprise. They're both hour-long videos, so I'm not totally following. I have a shorter line because sometimes it's easier to defend that. But anyway, so you can see they're respotting the deck. So they're moving the aircraft back to the rear so they can make room for aircraft to take off. I guess this is the best visual you're going to get right now with the sun low in the water. You can see the destroyer escort up front. Chase, if I was like a chaplain, I might be able to get an exception. They make exceptions for some of that kind of stuff. What if we started our own Navy? That starts to sound weird, but sure. Let's go buy a boat. It'll be like a down periscope, except instead of an old submarine, it'll be like a rusted out motorboat or something. I don't know. All right, we're turning into the wind to prepare for the launching of these aircraft. There are some aircraft below deck by the looks of it. Wonder if that's just a visual thing. I did hear that. Thank you, Finn. I don't know how to turn that off. Man, the only bad thing about an early morning strike is you can't see shit. All right, let's speed things up a little bit. Guys, I can't see. Don't fall off the carrier. All right. All right, so they're just about done respotting. I love watching aircraft take off. You can hear the engine rumbling. Might be a little faint for you guys. I can hear it. Let's take off, boys. I bet my torpedo bombers are thrilled they're being used as scouts. There they go. I wonder if the Devastator would be any better without a torpedo slung underneath it. The damn torpedo is so heavy relative to the aircraft's carrying capacity. Where's the other carrier anyway? There's two of us out here. Oh, she's over here. Lady Lex. That beautiful look. That gigantic side stack. Hi Wolfpack, how you doing? Ah! I do think using Devastators as hey, the moon's still out. I do think using Devastators as scouts is at least a moderately better use of their. They're an airplane. They fly, so you know it saves 1,000-pound bombs on SBDs that can be used more effectively. All right, so you can see the aircraft are starting to show up on the plot here as they take off. Again, the speed is the main issue. Is there damage control? Yes? Question mark. There is. You don't really, you know, do it. Like, I'm not going to be running around the carrier, like, hammering on shit. So, see, Lexington's aircraft are not all. Like, some of these guys are in queue. I hope this... all the aircraft are going to take off. This guy's going vertical. You got the wake of the carrier down here, but why are they turning out of the wind? I really hope this isn't Goldstreet. Because it looks like they're turning back out of the wind, and I've got a little report saying they're ceasing air operations and resuming original course. But it does still show aircraft takeoffs, so maybe it's a weird... It's heading back into the wind again. I don't know. Maybe there's something to do with flight deck ops. I don't know. Look at that! Ooh. Resume course. It just seems silly when you've got 4 aircraft on a scouting mission to have the task force continually changing course. I understand when you're spotting why you might not go into the wind, but if you're literally got 4 separate individual aircraft search missions, it seems a little silly to me. But what do I know? I ain't running no carrier deck ops. All right. I guess it effectively creates a zigzag. So they're spotting 3 all at once now? What are they doing? What? Confused. I don't think all my aircraft are airborne, guys. This is not efficient at the very least. They move them forward and then move them back so they have to respot? What? Okay. Hey, that's moving forward and back again, I guess. This is going to be the slowest launching of scouting aircraft ever. All right, what do we have? We've got... Yeah, this feels like it might be a bug. But it's a demo. It's not released yet. We've got 4 aircraft airborne ingressing. 5 aircraft inbound. 6, actually. So we've only got 2 aircraft that still have to take off. Okay, so you can see my aircraft are flying out here. Some of them we've lost contact with when they've grayed out. The blue, I believe, means they're still visual. The gray means we think they're out this way. It's been 3 minutes since we've had the last update. It is a updated demo, Santos. So the scenario we're playing, I believe, is new. It's a variant of the scenario that came with the demo before. How low is the cloud cover? Is there a way for me to see that? I don't know the answer to that. I don't actually know if... I don't know if there's a report for... In any event, aircraft are underway. No bonsai, Craig. We're the Americans. We don't want any of that nonsense. All right, so two of our aircraft are still spotting. Not sure about the timing on that because of takeoff. All right, so almost everybody's airborne. Hey, Zert. Weather's on map. Cloud cover's on map. We can see wind. You can see weather too. All right, so there's the clouds. I don't know if it tells me the altitude. Thank you for the sub, Snake. Appreciate it. All right, everybody's airborne. Now we're just kind of waiting. Remember, I adjusted my task force's heading, so we're heading northeast. That should, in theory, keep the enemy task force closer to us based on our intelligence, but it also does mean that we are, you know, there's a risk that we get hit sooner too. Oh shit. Pause. What is this? 2 task forces of enemy aircraft, 10 plus, maybe 3. Contact unknown, 2 large, 2 small, heading northwest. Reported by VT2 0 minutes ago. How long ago were we spotted? For any intel message we received, TF-17 has been detected by enemy air search assets. This was at 6:27? No. 6:24? I wasn't paying attention. That was 20 minutes ago. Fuck! Well. Fuck. So they're already airborne. They've already got aircraft headed to me. Do I have time? Do I have time to get a strike off? I don't know the answer to that. Contact 001. I'm just gonna assume this is the enemy carriers. Oh. 5 minutes ago. I still don't believe. I think this is the enemy carriers. Oh man, the music changed. It's like, it's real intense now. All right. I don't believe that that's a surface task force. If there's aircraft coming off of it, that is a hostile enemy. Screw it. You guys are going with no escort. It'll be faster to get you all airborne. The only concern is if they're heading northwest to launch aircraft, and if that's not their actual heading. That could be an issue, but I think they're already airborne, so I'm assuming that is not the case. All right, so we're going to launch 32 dive bombers off of Yorktown with 5 torpedo bombers and no escort. I might get hit with my aircraft on the deck. We'll see. Let's see, it's going to take 20 minutes till they start launching. Spotting ends at 7:20. Wolfpack, thanks for the gift subs. Listen. Should I scramble them? We'll at least get the fighters off the Lexington. Yorktown will plan that strike. I'm gonna split the baby because that's always smart in military stuff. Jesus, how many gift subs did you give? Wolfpack? Thank you, sir. They're on sale. Well, I think we're going to see some fireworks, and I don't think it's going to be good, but... Did I not? I thought I ordered a scramble on both, but I guess I just ordered on Lexington, not... Or Yorktown, not Lexington. So we're going to start spotting and scrambling our fighters off of Lexington. Takeoff will start in 15 minutes. How close are these carriers? How long do we have? How long do we have? Maybe not that long. No, we do not have that long, I don't think. It'll be close. It'd be better if they were airborne already. Wait, are these the fighters?
40 miles. Angels high.
Ooh. Ooh. We got one group. A single fighter, P. Ramsey. Go engage him, boys. Good luck, sir. Is he really going to fly out there all by himself? Is that what Scramble does? Poor guy. This is like some Pearl Harbor ass shit. Look at all those enemy aircraft up there. He's just flying around by himself, hoping to cause a nuisance, maybe get the enemy to fuck up their coverage. Banking in. Maybe he'll get one of them. Most likely no. Maybe he's gone. He's trying to get out of there. He's got multiple zeros down on him though. He's hosed already. Yeah. I'm not gonna bother. You can fly this, by the way. Now I'm not gonna bother trying to fly. I will just get my wing ripped off and shot down in a split second. But hey, maybe he'll pull the fighters off if the other scramble gets any aircraft off. Maybe he'll pull their altitude off and open up. He's going through the cloud cover. If the timing could be better, if the aircraft were off the carriers. Oh, there goes his wing. Get out of there! Poor guy. An ejection seat would come in handy. Oh, wait, he's already out. He already bailed. Somehow. I don't know how you bail if your wing was ripped off and you were twirling like that, but it looks like the canopy's off. Maybe he got out of there. Okay, so let's take a look at the, is it the Lexington who's spotting for the carrier, the fighters right now? Oh God. 3 minutes left. Where are they at? Even if the fighters get off, I don't see them having enough time to divert the enemy strike. Wait, targeted by torpedo aircraft. Are we even?
Torpedo defense stations.
Okay. Lexington is. Yeah, we fucked. We fucked. Ah! This ain't going well. Just a flight deck full of aircraft. Don't mind me.
Man all torpedo defense stations.
These guys aren't even close to being done with spotting. I'm a little confused. Out. Engaging enemy aircraft. Everybody's still on deck. Don't worry, everything's fine. Hey, at least there's another enemy maybe this is their cap, but we did confirm there's 2 enemy carriers in this task force. So there's the flak off in the distance. Or no, are those aircraft formations? Even better. Even better. Yes, general quarters is automatic. This is much more about, in my opinion, this is a game that is much more focused on running carrier operations and to some extent fleet operations, and not micromanaging your carrier and telling it what to do. Like that. Don't worry, I'm sure those low altitude flak are a good indication that everything's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. I see aircraft over here. I'm not sure why the contacts tab is turned off. Look, it looks like the Battlestar Galactica, just winging low altitude flak. Oh, look, 1, 2, 3. They're almost like in training formation right there. I'm sure it's all fine. It's there and anviling us from the other side. Not sure it'll matter. Oh, good. I hear a siren. That's a good indication. Torpedoes in the water. Hard Both ships heeling over in the water. Did they go for us or did they go for the Yorktown? Whoa, that's a tight turn. No, they're not. Now they're shooting up, so dive bombers are incoming. You can see some near misses. Getting closer. Ah, the game was like, yeah, you're hit by bombs. You're in trouble. Lexington took 3 bomb hits. All the aircraft just grouped up here. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Oh, God.
Enemy bomber down in 3.
We got one. Look at all the splashes over here.
Enemy bomber down in 3. Shot down. Flash 1 bomber. Enemy bomber shot down.
Why have I not seen any torpedo? I probably just shouldn't say it. Yorktown. Light damage so far? On what? Well, the elevator, it says the elevator's disabled, but the elevator just went up. There are 2 holes in the carrier deck. That's not a problem, right? Uh, 50% propulsion on the Lexington. That might be a problem when it comes to landing aircraft. Oh. The aft flight deck is destroyed, it says? I don't know about that. It looks fine. Does that mean you can't recover aircraft? Flight deck aft destroyed. So I assume that means I can't recover aircraft. At the very least. The Japanese torpedoes didn't leave a very visible wake. Well, listen, if they launched a torpedo attack on us and did no damage, I'm generally fine with that. All right, so we've got some damage here to our magazine, or what is that? Oh, that's cool. It shows you on the map what you're... So it shows me where the damage is. That's neat. I just want to be able to launch and retrieve aircraft, though. Right now, elevator 0 is disabled. Which elevator is that? Flight deck mid and forward are disabled. I assume not destroyed means they can be fixed. No air ops possible. Carriers damaged. Okay, so that's what the little red thing down there means. Great. Oh, don't worry. Neither of my carriers are operational. So even though we are not in danger of sinking, I don't think. Although that doesn't look good. Yeah. So they are returning and I can do nothing. Also, there might be another strike incoming. So how long does it take to make air ops possible, or are we just hosed and we need to start over? Can you repair anything in 20 minutes? Because I'd really like to launch aircraft. Current objective: survive. Okay, enemy air attack is over. Look at that, even more aircraft on the deck, even better. Rip to my returning scout planes. Have I been fired and court-martialed mid-battle? Maybe. They will patch up the flight deck and still launch. Well, hopefully. They should. But are they patching? I don't have to do anything. I think that's just automatic. Yeah, no! Another enemy air attack? Oh, I just sped things up. Someone was hit by... Ah! Time compression! Well, I just looked over and everything's fine. Don't worry. I'm sorry. That doesn't look good. Oh man. Sorry I didn't give you guys a view of the explosions, but it was funny to just look up and have a flaming deck. Hey, air operations possible? It says damaged, doesn't say disabled anymore. Still says air ops are carriers damaged. So Lexington was hit by 1, 2, 3 bombs, 4 bombs. Okay, that's not good. Yorktown can launch. Flight ops are no longer disabled. I think I still have that mission ordered. Unless it got canceled. We can scramble now, I guess. Probably too late. They're all going to be gone by the time I get off the deck. Unless there's another enemy strike coming in. I should have thought about that. No, they're on their way out. Oh, there might be another enemy strike coming in. They really want to hit me. Apparently we still have visual on their... I did order my aircraft to Scott to follow them. So we got a heavy cruiser here. I'm assuming these are their returning aircraft, or these might be their cap. One flat top. I'm not doing well. This isn't a matter of me not reading the tutorial so much as it's a matter of horrible timing on the order for me to do anything. Don't worry, guys. We do not have 110 aircraft anymore that can do anything, but, you know. So they're moving the aircraft forward, I assume, to make room to bring all the fighters. Moving the fighters forward? I don't know. I don't understand aircraft spotting, but they're moving aircraft forward and back. I don't think they're going to get off the deck before the next enemy airstrike starts. Lexington's burning but not sinking yet. I don't think she got hit under the water line, so she's probably not in danger of sinking yet. Uh-oh. Torpedo strike incoming. You can tell, I think, because the flak is low to the ground. Didn't get my fighters off in time. You can see him diving down to the attack. One of them's damaged. They didn't drop their fish yet. Well, if they want to go for the damaged one, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think Lexington's screwed. But if they're gonna go for Lexington, I'm okay with that. Because the Yorktown might survive. Maybe. I'm gonna look away and she's gonna be listing over. Maybe we'll just shoot all the enemy aircraft down with flak. That could be a new strategy. You can see the very faint wake of the torpedoes. Hey, they're gonna turn. You think this thing's gonna hit? I don't think any of those are gonna hit. That's why they need an anvil attack. They need to come in from two sides. Is that an anvil attack? Whatever it is. Where are these guys going? They already dropped. Now, all this maneuvering is besides, just ignore all these flames. She's fine. Did they hit one of the escorts? Looks like it. One of the cruisers. It's got a fire on the bow, literally right on the bow. That fire looks pretty bad. Maybe someone should put it out. Just my 2 cents. Are they coming in on the Yorktown now too? Got a lot of flak over here. I'm trying to scramble my fighters. Lexington was hit by a torpedo when I wasn't looking. Right off the bow, or the stern, it looks like. I'm doing a horrible job. I'm doing a horrible job from a viewer's point of view. Be like, hey, look, every time I look away, something happens. It's kind of comical. So Lexington now is down to 25% propulsion. Steering is jammed. Fires are critical. Damage is critical. Flooding's not too bad. She's gonna be a burned out Hulk. Unless the fires can spread to the magazines and detonate it. Don't worry. I'm sure it'll all buff out. They're trying to get room to fly fighter aircraft off to scramble. By the time they get airborne, you know, the interesting thing is it's almost been like an echelon attack where the enemy attacks with a small force or middling sized force, attacks again with middling sized force. That first raid was a pretty good sized raid, but then immediately, like 10 minutes later, another one came in. I didn't think any magazines were ablaze.
Resume base course. Resuming base course. Aye, aye, sir.
All right, they're heading into the wind. Magazines. Well, they got a magazine destroyed in the rear. Magazine torpedo destroyed. A lot of disabled magazines. I don't know if that means they're flooded or if they're actually like exploded. I assume they didn't explode because I think the ship would be in worse shape. Or maybe not. Could it be in worse shape? I don't know. What's the all right, well, maybe they've used all their aircraft up. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's go ahead and plan a strike mission with whatever I can. Yorktown has no fighter escorts to give because I've already ordered scramble, which means they'll all go off the deck. All right, so they will launch after the scramble's completed. Japanese carriers we've spotted. All right, they're getting the aircraft off the deck from the front, I guess, to get them out of the way, I assume. Strange. Well, I guess it's not strange, but I wish they were faster. Enemy air attack over just as my scramble gets off.
Romeo, many bandits. Sector 000. 20 miles. Angels high.
Well, they're going to go attack the enemy aircraft on the way back to the... Maybe they can provide an escort just by flying out to the enemy task force. So we got a section of 2. Maybe they'll shoot the guys up on their way home. Good luck, boys. And then this is the main. Uh-oh. Is Yorktown sunk or Lexington sunk? Because she's no longer on the task force list. She's certainly mission killed, but that's less the question. I don't actually see. Oh, she's over here. She just got pulled off. So propulsion is now 0. Steering still jammed. Fire critical status out of action due to damage. Not flooding yet, though. Okay. Why are they not doing anything? Are the fighters below deck? Is that what's going on here? And that's why they had to take their time? Zebra leader target in sight. Who's engaging? Got one! Down he goes! Good job, boys. You know, you got one. I'll give you credit. The enemy is low on fuel and returning to base. Meanwhile, you're diving in on them. Perfect time for 2 pilots to come in and save the day. You know, after the carrier sunk. They do not have bombs. These guys are just fighters I sent out to scramble and chase down the enemy task force. Honestly, they're probably doing more damage at this point than they would have against the enemy when they're on their way in. I think they did surprise the enemy. Oh, this guy's got a 0 behind him. This guy's evading. This guy's still engaging. No, he's toast. Well, they got 2, I think. See, at least 2 planes in the ground or water. With Wolfpack here, I'm not going to bother trying to take command of these aircraft. That's one of the other things that's new with this version of the demo, is you can actually go in and you can take control of these aircraft now. can't take control of him. Oh, they're both dead. Well, maybe next time. Sorry, boys. Are these aircraft ever going to take off? There you go. Now my fighters are airborne. Here's a question. Are they going to go try and attack the enemy carriers? Because maybe they can sweep the enemy.
Romeo, Bucky, sector 010, 50 miles.
50 miles.
One.
Yeah, go for it, boys. All right, so now you're going to move forward and you're going to move aft again. I feel like you should have just loaded the aircraft on deck while you were waiting for the fighters to clear. That's what I would do. So move forward, prepare for the strike, move back. It looks silly. Maybe it's accurate. Looks silly. We will take care of one of those fighters once they, I guess, are back. I mean, listen, guys, I got blown up not that long ago, remember? Yep, gotta get the ones from under the hangar. Here they go, boys.
Romeo, enemy snooper.
Enemy snooper.
320, more than 80 miles. Angels high.
More than 80 miles. I don't think a snooper is... Snooper's just like an aircraft that's like scouting, right? Hey, nobody. Happy New Year's to you. Next podcast should be next week. I have edited about 2/3 of it. It'll be a 2025 wrap-up. We got to record a 2026 look forward. We got to record it soon, too, because a number of these games are coming out early next year. All right, we'll slow things down and watch the aircraft take off once they begin that. Why are these guys parked up here with the wings folded? I'm assuming they're going to move. There they come. Folded wings just seem silly. You know, when you're preparing for a strike. Not as worried about a snooper that's 80 miles out. Where are my fighters anyway? Are they like way out here? They are. That'd be cool if they engage the enemy. Here's a question. Where did I order my aircraft to go? I sure hope they go for the enemy strike. Okay, so they should go for the enemy. I would think they would update the targeting based on... Are these guys about to go head to head? This was 8 minutes ago. Look at my fighters. I don't know where they're flying to. I don't think there's any enemy fighters out that way. That's an 8-minute-old report, but... let me zoom out here. So hopefully you can hear me as these aircraft take off. So the demo was re-released, if you will, on the 30th, I believe. Early morning or late hours. I don't know. Just re-released. They have the original scenario, Coral Sea scenario from the demo. They also added a second one, which I believe adds the Kaga to it for the same scenario. I assume this is in an effort to build some momentum ahead of what they are saying will be a Q1 release of next year. So I assume we're talking about a new game coming out soon. Yeah, the mixing on this is weird. The game's real quiet and then the planes are real loud. Audio seems inconsistent. I would just say maybe the plane audio should have its own slider. I literally just said Q1. Aircraft taking off takes some time. Plane slider for a game. Hey, I'm sure you could have it in like aisle 2, right? I don't know. All right. Aircraft are taking off. Nav strike. On deck. I thought were they SBDs who were taking off first? I thought they were the torpedo bombers, but it was en route. So they're not, I guess they're the slowest, so it makes sense for them to go first. I can't carry this thing. It's too heavy for my plane. God, the Devastator's such a piece of shit. It looks like the torpedo's too heavy for it. It looks like someone's straining against a super heavy weight, and they're just like trying to hold it over their shoulder while they just struggle and fail. Wolf, you're a Devastator fan? Tell me why you're a Devastator fan. What about it? Just because everybody else hates it? It looks funny? I don't know. Like, give me a reason. Defend yourself. All right, let's speed up a little bit. There's the snooper. Great. Where are my fighters? Are we pursuing this task force? I hope we're pursuing these guys. Yeah! Get him! Get him! All right, boys. I did get I got my joystick out. Let's fly. We're bad for the same reason the P-39 was bad. P-39 was great. Something's burning up there. I like how Wolf said it was slander to say the Devastator was bad, and then he just went all radio silent when I asked why. So this is not a DCS level simulation for flight, just to be clear. I can't see anything about range. I don't think there's a cockpit view. Obviously, you've got a little circle with a crosshair. They give you a little dot. A lot of aircraft are going down. I don't know if those are our aircraft diving on them and they don't have escorts, but if this is an enemy attack, maybe their fighters aren't. I'm not really sure. A lot of aircraft are going down. The Brewster Buffalo is a lot like the Gripen today. It is a good aircraft for the time in which it was built, but in the war of the future, it basically was instantly obsolete. Sorry, Gripen fanboys. I really hope, it looks like we're just picking these guys off. I don't think they've got fighter cover. Look at this, just like a waterfall of flames. The fighters at the jackpot. We are flying F4Fs, or F4 F3s, I think. I'm not coming in on a dive like my buddies. You can see the little dot represents leading it. And I can't do this. Let's crash! Oh, did I just fly through it? Okay. Is this an enemy fighter? Like, what is up here? I did not even hit, and I'm very confused. Is this a torpedo bomber? Apparently I don't know how to lead. It was red for a split second. I suppose I would have had an easier shot if I dove on it. I don't think it has track IR support. F4, F3 Wildcat, right? Modern day tanks are not obsolete. Drones don't make them obsolete. It just makes it a more complicated threat environment. I'm very confused. I should be hitting this damn thing. I don't know if this game has collisions either for air combat, to be clear. I wonder if you can drop bombs, or if it's just... If I fly a Devastator, can I go shoot, you know, drop a bomb? Anyway, I'm pretty confident we wrecked this enemy air attack. I'm getting spotters looking at the replay. All right. It's supposed to go red when you're on target, which maybe I should just be saving my ammo. I really shouldn't be coming in on this angle. I should be coming in from up high. For a split second. Just give me bombers. That's what I need to attack. Just give me like a twin engine, something big and fat and beefy. Wolf is watching this and is like, this is why you don't play flight sims. And you never will. How's Falcon going? Well, I got the joystick out. You got that much. Those are all the friendlies, those blue dots. BMS is installed. I've turned it on. I haven't done key mapping. Thatch Weave by himself. I was gonna say that's not what the Thatch Weave is. it's you know, two aircraft, I think, right, working together, both turning into each other, and that kind of like helps cover each other from a zero. I'm probably describing that poorly, but in my mind I know what it is. I don't think it has night ops. I don't know. I have to make you look good. Yeah, you know, that's what my channel's all about. I play games poorly so you don't have to feel bad about your poor performance in games. No, demo's updated. This is a closer to release version of what the game will look like. Closer to being key. For example, I can take over flights in the middle of the demo. All right, I'm done with this. Oops. How do I get out of here? How do I untake over this aircraft? Oh no, now my mouse thinks I'm flying. I don't want to do this. I don't know how do I get out of here? Do I have to kill myself? There's got to be an option to like Nope, that's not what I want. Alright, I guess I'll just get myself killed. They welded me to the cockpit. God damn. I have not done this before, Tortuga. I can't eject, but I can die, I guess. Oh, release control. Haha. The game's like you're an idiot. Alright, did we take off? We did take off. So that enemy task formation got pretty badly wrecked, I think. You can see my aircraft for my strike mission are on the way in. This is the dive bomber or torpedo bomber force. And then we've got dive bombers coming in this way. It says 2+ coming in on this flank, but I assume that's not. I assume that's like what's left of the formation that we were wrecking.
Romeo, buggies, vector 320, 10 miles, Angels high.
Uh-oh. Is it just 1-0? 2+, 2+. I don't even know where my fighters are anymore. It says they're engaging, but. I'm in a cloud! My fighters did a pretty good job of wrecking whatever that force was out ahead of them. Can you take over bombers or just fighters? Oh, you can only take over fighters. I right click and it doesn't give me the option to take them over. So I can take over fighters, but I can't take over bombers. Darn. Focus on my torpedo bombers. I'm okay with that. I'm much more confident in my dive bombers. We've got 5 devastators going in. You can't hear me at all? Oh, because of the flight. The planes were too loud. Sorry. Listen. I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say. Don't worry. I'll be quiet. I won't be too loud. Oh, wow. You can probably hear me now. Got him. And by got him, I don't mean me. Ow. I wish there was a better way to select the enemy aircraft so you could view them. Because you can view them, but you gotta like click on them. Because there's no enemy contact here. I can just click. Hey, there's the ships down there. You can see the wake. One of the things I love about this game is just like, look, and this is a small-ish group, but when you plan out a mission and you can just see dots all over the sky of aircraft, friendly aircraft, it looks cool visually. You can see kind of dots back here. If I had a 2-carrier task force, you could really see it. This is probably the worst stream of Task Force Admiral on the internet, but I take that with pride. I'm very good at being bad. All right, is the enemy taking off more aircraft? Or are these guys landing? That's Cap, or maybe that's my boy. Ah! I could probably pause it and then try and find it. Nope, that's a Cap. So they're going to have fighters that are going to eat into our bombing runs when we do arrive. Hopefully they don't have too many. They definitely sent fighters with their strikes. You can see one carrier over here, one carrier down here. So we for sure have 2 flat tops. I'm guessing if the Kaga's around, it's a separate task force. We only spotted 2 with our reconnaissance. All right.
Captain to all hands. Hold on to something. We're commencing evasive action. Engines, all ahead flank. All ahead flank. Aye, aye, sir.
Romeo, buggies. Vector 350, 60 miles. Angels medium.
All right, so let's see here. What are we commencing evasive maneuvers from? Didn't we like shoot all their aircraft down? What are we commencing evasive action from? I just want my aircraft to sink an enemy carrier. That's all I want. I think it was one aircraft. Oh, this is another enemy strike? 2+. Are they fighters? Did not everybody get off the deck? No, everybody's here. Those must be enemy fighters because we didn't send any with the escort. It's gonna get hairy, boys. 1, 2, 3, 4. there too. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll be fine. Enemy raid en route to our position, bearing 40 miles. So there is another enemy airstrike that may have just flown past us as well. Maybe these are their escorts peeling off. I'm not sure. Can you hear me? All right, boys. I sure hope you spot the enemy and turn. Okay. About to ditch. Well, you died. Well, you can certainly see the enemy aircraft from here, right? There's flak firing up at you. Well, you don't have a torpedo. I don't know if you ditched it because you're damaged. So we're bombing target. Everybody's lining up. I'm gonna go with the rear one so I can watch the others dive in front of us. You can see a flat top down here. Maybe we'll get one. Nose over. I should be playing Ride of the Valkyrie right now. Enemy aircraft is turning. They're going to give us their broadside, which I would hope would make it easier to hit them, but I suppose maybe not. Someone's burning down here. Probably one of our other aircraft. Looks like previous strikes maybe have already dropped. One hit. Oh, those went long. No, a second hit. Yeah. Get them, boys. Is that everybody? Was that the last formation? These guys are not still on deck. Different carrier, apparently. Not on fire. You're going to drop long. You missed. The other guy turned right into us. This one turned perfectly timed to avoid that. I don't think we got any hits on the second carrier. I think we got 2 on this guy. That we saw anyway. 1 on each side of the flight deck too. Alright, all the torpedo bombers ditched, so that's historically accurate. Everybody's forming up on the way out. Pretty sure we're all out of bombs. Doesn't anybody have any missiles left? Alright. Well, guys, it's been a good rare daytime stream. But on that horrific note, I mean, basically me blundering around for almost 2 hours, I do have to run, go get kids from daycare. Maybe we'll do a late night stream. I don't know. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Can you look at the Japanese ships? I mean, we looked at... it's hard to... I find this game's UI a little frustrating in that, like, I know why you don't want to just let me click through all the enemy ships. But also, then I can just search with my mouse and, like, you know, randomly click around. But Yeah. Anyway, I got to run to go get some kids. We may do a stream tonight. Maybe we'll do a Japanese playthrough. Maybe we'll have more luck that way, playing as the Japanese in one of the generated scenarios or something, or the sandbox generator thing, whatever you call it, mission generator. That's going to do it for today, though. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Let's actually take a look. Will it tell me anything here? Oh, never mind. Bye. I just exited the game.